Fine Music Breakfast with Annabelle Drumm.
And welcome back. This is Fine Music Breakfast. I hope you're enjoying yourself today. It's 6 minutes past 8 o'clock here on Friday, 22nd of November. And we're looking at the weather. It's currently 21 degrees in Sydney. We're looking for a high of 25, or very pleasant. And in Penrith, it's 20 degrees, looking for a high of 33. However, humidity up there is 95%. So forget wearing makeup today, otherwise it'll end up somewhere around your décolletage, I think. We're looking at a partly cloudy day, smoky as well. We'd like to pick up the winds, but it doesn't look very windy either to blow it all away like we were lucky to have last time. However, they are looking for a little bit of rain coming in towards the end of the day and tomorrow as well. So you can put your focus on that and see if you can draw that in even quicker, and to help us blow away the smoke and the flames further north as well. Now, in the studio, I have with me a man of great initiative. He studied cello in several states here in Australia, and then with world-famous performers such as Stephen Isserlis and Bonnie Hampton. He's performed in the UK and France and Germany, but spends much of his time here in Australia with Pinchgut Opera, Canberra Symphony, Ironwood and Symphonia Australis, and he was the artistic director of the Australian Brandenburg Orchestra earlier on, and is currently artistic director of the very unique Australian Art Quartet. I'd like to welcome to Fine Music, James Beck.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for coming along. Did I get a bit of that wrong?
Oh, a little bit. I was assistant to Paul Dyer, the artistic director at Brandenburg.
Oh, well, yes. That's almost artistic director. That's like, with ambitions. The assistant with ambitions, isn't it?
That was me, definitely.
Thank you for joining me today. Now, the Sydney Art Quartet is something that I think we need to hear a lot more about. It's been around a few more years, but what sort of gave you the inspiration to start something so unique?
Well, Annabelle, after my time with the Brandenburg, I actually stepped away from music for a couple of years, and I was working for the Historic Houses Trust of New South Wales, helping bring those properties and those collections alive for people. And I learned a lot about interpreting objects, interpreting stories, and I also learned about how important it is for people to get really, really close to music so they can understand it better and feel its power. And I really, looking back on some of my projects I've been very fortunate to be involved with, I felt that sitting on stage, I got the best experience, and that the audience got a slightly more watered down experience.
Oh.
And so when I came back to music, I realised I wanted to do it differently. And specifically with my own group, I wanted to increase the intensity of the experience for the audience. And I wanted to increase the intimacy. And that meant a whole lot of different kind of decisions, like where we play, how we play.
It's like reverse engineering it, isn't it?
It was definitely rebuilding it from scratch.
So the sort of events that you've had in the past, I was reading about them, you've got all these different ideas of tuning into other senses, like the smell, and, blindfolding people while they listen so that they truly listen. How does the smell fit in with that experience?
Sure. Well, we like using other senses because we like bypassing education, rational thought, all these things that are seen to be prerequisites for listening to classical music. And so it's not that we think, we want to do something with smell. It's like, well, how can we increase the impact of this storytelling? And so in this case, we were telling stories about buildings that don't exist anymore, palaces in Central America, buildings that have been destroyed by revolutions in Europe. And,
palaces in Central America?
Yes.
I see what you mean, like that, like vertically central.
Yes.
Heading into South America. Right, yeah, I see what you mean.
Exactly.
Not Latin the middle of America.
Latin America, you might say.
Latin, right.
And by working with a fragrance maker who was actually an architectural historian as well, we could tell a story.
Listen to these mixes of careers. Isn't this amazing?
Yes. Well, we live in an interesting time, a sophisticated time where people can have these multiple careers. And this particular chap, Carlos Huber, was an architectural historian and then a scent maker. And so He's worked on architectural digs in Central America. He's seen the footings and the layout. He's researched the plans of lost buildings, and he understands scent. So we could tell a story in scent and in music.
So not just like musty old buildings was not what those.
No. It was about stepping out into a courtyard and hearing water and smelling fragrant blooms at night, and what music would you be hearing at this time as well. So
that's
people
beautiful.
Coming to that kind of concert can go deep into an interior journey and a very intense experience.
This is what's interesting about smell, because we're so used to looking at digital screens where the audio and the visual seems to be the only things that we ever talk about, or the only things that we experience. And so to add smell, it's so powerful because it hits the nervous system very quickly, doesn't it?
And it unlocks all sorts of associations that we may not be completely aware of with our conscious brain.
So to add that in, people can joke about it, but really it's something that's incredibly powerful and can be very beautiful, very moving. Yeah. So looking at the concert that you've got coming up now, this next one, you've decided to put it in a synagogue. Tell us how that came about.
Oh, I think it's been in formation since I was about 13, actually. But the short story is that there is a very important piece of music by Steve Reich called Different Trains. And it won the Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Piece in the 80s. And it's very, very rarely performed. We've performed it once in Australia. I think it's been performed 3 or 4 times since it was written in 88. And so it was about bringing that piece to a wider attention, and doing that, we like to amplify the storytelling, amplify the experience. So we've got a cinema installation that we're very, very proud to bring to Australia. It was created for a quartet in Brazil, Quarteto Liberatus, and they're very, very kindly allowed us to have that installation as well.
Specifically to go with the music?
Specifically commissioned to go with the music. That will be on a 6 metre by 4 metre screen. And that amplifies the music because it contains a lot of visual material from the 30s, 40s and 50s, which is where the voices that are woven through Different Trains by Steve Reich, those voices come from that time as well. And yes, so it was about that. But and then we looked at how we could continue that storytelling. So it starts in the United States and in Europe in the 30s and 40s and moves exclusively to America in the 50s, and roughly tells the story of persecution during the Third Reich in Europe, and then how those survivors made their way to the New World. And so in the second half of this story, we tell a story through dance of what it's like to survive, what it's like to find a new partner, what it's like to create a new family. So it's not all
like a totally different life, isn't it? It's like you move out of one section and there's a very definite milestone that you transfer yourself to a new place and you start a whole new life.
And in many ways, these people, many instances, these people were meeting new partners in displaced persons camps, or maybe in delicatessens or shoe shops in the States. You know, there's lots of these stories that come through. And many times they were making completely new families because their
whole
former
family disappeared,
is murdered.
Yeah.
So this is about what happens next, and so it's a story that brings us right up to our time. And we're using the music of Michael Nyman to help us tell that story, and 2 incredible dancers. Cass Mortimer-Iper, who was a principal artist with the Sydney Dance Company for many years, and a very, very exciting younger artist, Christy Pike, and some original choreography by Anton. And so it's a very special story, and it spans roughly a lifespan. You know.
So it moves into a much more positive area. Shall we listen to the piece from Michael Nyman?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a fantastic, fantastic piece by Nyman. It's so energetic. And it's from his Quartet number 5. It was only written in 2013. It's shimmering, luminous, vibrant music, and is a completely different side to this story. So it's not all darkness.
Wow. Okay, let's have a listen to that. Wow, that's a very, very positive piece, isn't it? I can see you just grooving away. I can imagine you grooving while you're performing it as well.
Oh, this one you definitely can't hold yourself back. You
have to move around.
You have to move around and go for it.
Are you standing up while you're performing this piece?
No, we're not standing up for this one because the dancers will be joining us on stage.
So you have to wriggle in your seats.
We just have to wriggle in our seats, yes.
So you've got a cinema piece, you've got visuals at the back, you've got two dancers.
Two dancers, yes. We've also
and
got
the quartet.
And also the 17-year-old Avital Greenberg, an exceptional young singer. She's got a huge career in front of her. And she's joining us for a piece called Sim Shalom. It's a prayer for peace written by Leor and Nigel Westlake. Incredibly, incredibly beautiful piece of music.
Sounds great. So this is all next week. It's Wednesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. And the concert is called Crossroads. And that's going to be at the Emmanuel Synagogue, 9 Ocean Street in Woollahra. So if you're interested in buying tickets, the tickets are between $50 and $98. You can go to the website sydneyartquartet.com or call 9389 6444. And do we have a double pass to give away today?
Absolutely.
All right. This is good. So if you're interested in getting a free pass, these are very valuable tickets. And if you want to get a free double pass to go to this concert, give us a call at the reception 9439 4777. Say you're interested in going into the draw for the double pass for the concert Crossroads with the Sydney Art Quartet. So now there's another wee thing here as well. Excuse me, it's including drinks and the reception. So does that start at 7 o'clock or do they have to get there earlier, before 7?
We start with a bit of a drink as well. So everyone's welcome to come at about 6:30 or 7, and the concert starts not long after 7, but we also have the main reception afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you guys are not allowed to drink too much.
We're not, not at all. Not for this one. There's so many notes in this one.
You have to be good at your counting for this one.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah. So you have to keep your drinks till afterwards. But anybody else, you can come along. So from 6:30, come and have a quick drinky before they start at the synagogue, the Emmanuel Synagogue in Woollahra. And that is the concert Crossroads. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about this today, James.
It's a pleasure, Annabelle. Thanks for having me.